Hi, this is Darius Hi from LearnByBlogging.com. Today I want to give you a review of this book. It's called Being Mortal, Medicines and What Matters in the End by Atul Gawande, who is a surgeon himself. And I listened to the audiobooks. I don't have a book with me, but it's a really awesome book for anyone with a dying loved ones, or for those who are dying themselves. And in the end, it's for everyone because we all be dying someday. And I think it's good to be prepared. The author, being a surgeon himself, discussed what is best for a person to really end his life journey toward the end, and whether because the end of the journey is due to aging or due to illness, and how a doctor or his loved ones can really should help in that process. And I think there was a very good tip. He mentioned that it's best for your loved ones, the surrounding person, to ask what is the end goal, what things that a person, how that person is going to conduct at the end, what matters to that person, whether it's a quality time with loved ones, with friends, with relatives, or just less suffering, and the ability to watch in front of a TV football game while eating a chocolate ice cream. And that's one of the story that he tells. So there's several touching story in the book. There's one about as a new mother with just a baby born to her, and there's an old independent man and his daughter. His daughters are piano teachers, and there's one story in the beginning about I think it's in-law of relatives, but I think at the end the most touching is his own father. His own dad. The story really hit home, and it's very, very touching. And I think that's really hit home the message. In the book, he mentioned about the nursing home. There's first a few chapters about nursing home, the assisted living, and anything in between, and how these people are helping out the old, living out the end of life with autonomy and without the risk of falling and missing important medicines. So if you are someone who are looking for a retirement home, assisted living, this is a very good book, good reference book. And there's a lot of distinction between them. He advocates the use of hospice to help making the last days of life worth living. I got to know how some of the how does the home hospice work, and it's good to the hospice worker will spell out the goals and write down what is needed, what funeral home, those kind of taboo that usually don't discuss. But the hospice worker would go through all the details, what funeral home to use, when to resuscitate, and etc. How to make yourself comfortable and during in your dying process. So those are a very interesting story, and he touched on one of the human psychology about how human always remember mostly of the peak pain and the pain at the end. Our remembering self seems to capture the majority of the because that's how we remember, right? So the average of the pain experience that we experience is normally not important to us, because it doesn't make a very good stories. So when it comes to handling losses, like fighting cancer, for example, we tend to take very excessive risk without considering the quality of life at the end. And I think that's the job of a good doctor, to really go through it instead of playing the informative discussion, giving all the options. But the best kind of doctor would be talk about your goals and sharing the pros and cons, and understand where you're coming from, and how you want to tackle this difficulty that you're going to be encountering. So a lot of great stories. The books read like a novel, even though it's all real, and you can learn a lot from this book. So it's a great book. You need to read it sooner or later, so go ahead and read it, and I think you will get a lot out of it. All right, and that's all I have for today, and I don't have a lot of details. You can go into the book and pick it up, and other than that, I wish you the best, and I'll see you next time. Bye now.